What's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Switched Up. I'm joined by PJ, and welcome to the 7th ever episode of Nintendo Tonight. Now, this is a pretty special episode. Some of you might have noticed that. If you noticed what's special about this episode, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're viewing this on YouTube.
Yep.
If you're just listening on either iTunes or Spotify, you're probably like, Thomas, what are you talking about? Well, we got face cams. I don't have one of those like party things that goes, well, but I would use it if I did.
Yeah, it's also at night.
Now.
Yeah, it's also at night, which
that's actually true. I would not want to wake up my parents or sisters.
A lot of people have been kind of complaining about, oh, it's not posted at night. Like, it's called Nintendo Tonight. Well, I mean, it's recorded at night, so deal with it.
Yeah, you can see right over there. Or I don't know if you can see it in the face cam.
Yeah, you can. No, you can.
Windows. Yep. It is night, so.
I have it.
Yeah, no, but seriously. I mean, that's not the only change coming to Nintendo Tonight. We actually did want to just take a moment to say thank you to everyone who does listen to the podcast or watches the podcast, I guess, now, because, Facecam. It really does mean a lot. We love recording these. PJ and I, just to be honest, we had a probably 3-hour long discussion on, what direction we want to take Switched Up as a channel, as a brand, and then Nintendo Tonight. It's something we do every so often, and it's a good thing to get in the mindset, like, know what we want to do, what our plans are. And we have a lot of big plans for Nintendo Tonight. It's really, really exciting stuff. We're gonna be actually finally doing those podcast clips, so that's another reason to subscribe to the Nintendo Tonight YouTube channel if you somehow haven't already. Because I mean, hey, if you listen on iTunes or Spotify, then you can see like the podcast, like clips of random segments, and go watch them, see our beautiful faces. That was stupid. I'm not saying that again, but yeah, no, there for real. There are going to be some pretty big, I don't want to say changes. We're kind of keeping everything intact, at least for Nintendo Tonight.
Yep.
Switch Stop's getting some big changes, but Nintendo Tonight, don't break what isn't broken or something like that. Don't fix what isn't broken.
Yes, there you go.
So yeah, I mean, we're kind of keeping it the same, just doing more of it, because now that it's on its separate channel,
Yep.
we don't feel pressured to abide by upload schedules.
Yep.
Yeah. So with that out of the way, we got a pretty interesting episode. We really only have one major topic, but it's a pretty big one. PJ, do you want to introduce the main topic for episode 7?
Yeah, sure. So apparently in a recent shareholders meeting, the Nintendo president, Shuntaro Furukawa, hopefully I didn't butcher that too badly,
No, you did it right.
said during the 80th annual general meeting of shareholders that all first-party games for this year are on track. So I guess, the holiday games might be announced pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see that in the little, headline, because I was thinking, there's no way that they're saying that this is a normal year so far.
No, it hasn't.
How? Like, we haven't gotten any game. Like, we know of Paper Mario, but that's when it hit me. The quote, I don't know the exact quote, but the paraphrasing is saying that all first-party games this year are on track for release.
Yep.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're being announced at the same time. And obviously we already know this because they would have been announced at E3. Didn't happen.
Yep.
But it does, kind of give me some hope, because it's been pretty dark knowing that we have Paper Mario in 20 days, less than that now.
Yeah, less.
And then nothing after that. Like, Nintendo, what you doing? Yeah, it's just weird. It's a weird situation. So it's good to know that there are still games coming. They didn't get delayed internally. Obviously, you can't really delay anything publicly that hasn't been announced in the first place. But yeah, nothing's been delayed internally. So I mean, that you would think that means we're gonna have to get some announcements soon. Maybe not in July, because that they'll reserve all Nintendo news to be like Paper Mario announcements. But August, like,
yeah, I don't know.
We gotta get something. It's so weird. We gotta get something.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, with no E3 and no sort of Treehouse Direct sort of thing in June and everything, I mean, we would have expected to see a lot of games by now. As you would know, like, this entire month would have been taken up by us talking about, like, the new games and everything that was announced. So it's it's very weird. I don't know what they're. Probably the biggest question that I have, at least for now, is, are they going to announce the rest of the games for this year through the same format that they did with, like, Paper Mario, through Twitter? or are they going to have a direct later in like August or September or something to talk about all of these games? I guess sort of like a mega direct, I suppose, because I mean like stuff does get announced in like September, October. So,
Yeah.
like, do you think that they're gonna have a whole direct, or do you think they're gonna like, kind of announce the game separately through Twitter, like Paper Mario was, which was honestly, I think it was really weird, but I understood why it happened, and my hype was definitely toned down considering it wasn't in a direct. But like, yeah, what do you think of that entire complex? Yeah.
Okay, I mean, if I had to, go out on a limb and say this is what Nintendo's 2020 is going to look like from now on,
Yeah.
here's generally what I'd say. I'd say we're going to get a new game announcement in either late July, so after Paper Mario,
Yeah.
which comes out the 17th, I think, or the 20th?
I believe it's the
around then.
17th. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So something after that, we're going to get an announcement, because I don't think they're going to announce anything right before.
Yep.
I think we could get an announcement afterwards for a new game. A new game also in, like, that game would come out, like, September-ish.
Yep.
A new game in August, which could be the holiday game. And then a September Direct, which not only announces the game that was announced, or not only goes over the game that was announced in July to be releasing in September. So it would be like, the Directs generally focus on a game.
Yep.
So it would focus on whatever the September game is. It would focus on whatever the winter game is. Maybe announce a port here or there.
3D World.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I kind of personally think that 3D World will be announced in July. I don't know if that's just me, because
I mean, it's
for
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's very possible. I feel like July, they have to announce something. I mean, I think after Paper Mario's release,
one would think,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, after Paper Mario's release, I think we're gonna have to hear about something. I don't think they would announce announce a Mario game after they released one, right? I mean, like, I get where you're
Yeah.
coming from there. Like at the beginning of the
Maybe
year.
Pikmin 3 then.
Yeah, yeah. So Pikmin 3 Deluxe, considering the Pikmin 3 was on Wii U, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, a deluxe could be an idea because if you remember, quite a few years ago they were talking about, Pikmin 4 is fully finished, but we never got it. So
The debated of the century by
Yeah.
Miyamoto, saying in 2015 Pikmin 4 was near completion.
so I mean, I guess they just like scrapped it, or they said let's put it on our new system, the Switch, or something like that.
and then not release it until 4 years into the Switch's
Yeah.
life cycle.
Yeah. So
Absolute big brain.
Yeah.
We can't understand it, PJ. We can't comprehend, but they know what they're doing.
yeah, I mean, Pikmin 3 being re-released. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh yeah, Patriots. Yeah, good looks.
Patriots,
Of course.
Cam Newton. We can talk about that later.
Oh, we can.
We should have a sports segment. We should do it.
Yeah, but
Next episode is going to be a sports. No, I'm kidding. Please come back. I know most people probably don't care about it.
clicked off already. It's like sports.
Yeah.
Normies, bro.
Bro, they're just out of here.
Yeah, but
They're out of here like that. Especially Patriots.
yeah.
If they hear we're both Patriots fans.
Oh,
my
no.
God. Ratings.
Oh, it's over.
Plummet. I think we have 5 stars on iTunes.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
anymore. It's just gone. Please, guys. I love Nintendo. I swear.
Yeah, but back to Pikmin 3. Like re-releasing that game, I feel like would be a little weird, and I don't know why they wouldn't go to just Pikmin 4. But at the same time, I get it because it was on Wii U, and maybe they want to, I don't know the reason for it. I feel like they would go to the sequel, but I don't know.
They might. I mean, Pikmin games, to be honest.
Like, that
in
was a
terms of story-
fan-created theory, to be honest. Like, the Pikmin 3 Deluxe thing, like, you heard one rumor about it, and now everyone's, like, magically saying, oh, yeah, Pikmin 3 Deluxe confirmed, it's happening. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it was always kind of, like, thought about, though, because Nintendo obviously loves doing Wii U ports, and
Yeah.
it's literally just, like, Pikmin 3, 3D World.
Yeah.
Maybe Xenoblade Chronicles X, if you're talking about that, but that wasn't even developed by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I mean, like, there's really not much else they can do to kind of finish off the Wii U,
Yep.
in terms of ports at least. I feel like if they're gonna do, I think 3D World, isn't 100% guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you, yeah.
I think there's literally nothing that could be said that,
Yeah.
like, for me to think that 3D World isn't coming.
Mhm. I mean, it just makes
like,
so much
Nintendo
sense.
could literally say, Nintendo could literally say, we're not working on 3D World, and I'd be like, yeah, they're working on it. Because, like, it makes too much sense. It literally makes too much sense that it hurts. It hurts me to, even like talk about it because it should have happened like
Yeah.
3 years ago. So, yeah, I think that Pikmin or 3D World is a guarantee. Pikmin is a bit more. I dropped my little Pokeball. Pikmin is a bit more.
It's weird.
I don't know.
It's a weird situation
Yeah.
that the series is in. Definitely, I think we can
sure.
classify it as that.
What about a trilogy? What about a trilogy before Pikmin
re-release?
4?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I feel like speaking of trilogies, this is a perfect segue. I mean, a Pikmin trilogy, I don't think so, but a Metroid Prime trilogy.
Prime. Yep.
I think so. I
knew
mean,
you were gonna
I
say
think
that.
that's a great idea. I think that's a game that they're gonna announce sometime this year. Prime trilogy. We know they're working on Prime 4. You know, the progress of that we have no damn idea about. But I think doing a Prime trilogy now would be perfect before they give any news about Prime 4. You know, introduce new fans to the series. I think it's just a total W for them. I mean, the last Prime trilogy, I think it was 2009 for the Wii. Yeah, the original Wii. So,
Well, they re-released it on Wii U in the eShop.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they made it HD even for that.
Yeah,
I think it was
it was. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they do. An HD, port of that on the Switch and announce it sometime this year, and hopefully.
I agree with you. I don't think it's getting released this year though. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't think
agree.
I don't even think Prime 4 is coming out 2021. I think that's 2022 or late 2021. That's what I said in my teaser trailer for the Nintendo Direct. Was winter 2021.
Right.
And in a couple of the reactions I was watching, they were like, "Oh, come on, winter 2021, we have to wait that long?" But like
Yeah.
like they announced they were restarting it in January
Yeah.
of 2019. So
Yeah, that's
2021, that would be like almost
almost two. Yeah.
3 yeah, almost 2 years. Almost 2 years to develop Metroid Prime 4. I think they would take like 3, right?
Yeah.
I would assume that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so what I think of that is that Metroid Prime trilogy would be coming out 2021 to supplement Prime 4, which would be coming out late 2021 or 2022.
Yep.
That's my personal theory,
Yep.
but
So do you think
I don't know.
like maybe they would do it like early 2021, or do you think that we could get a Pokemon game then?
Pokemon game early 2021.
Yeah, like or actually
You mean like
actually
a mainline?
yeah.
Or-
Because no, I'm thinking of Pokemon Directs. They usually do Pokemon Directs at the beginning of the year, right? It's like January, February. Yeah. Sorry, my fault. Yeah,
No, you're all
that
good.
in itself would be interesting though. I mean, not to go on a side rant on Pokemon, but that is a mess. It's a
Yeah.
mess, dude. It's a mess.
Bro, we're not doing this. We did a Pokemon
Oh, yeah.
themed episode. We can't go back down this path.
I feel you.
Just like, I mean, we've talked about it
Do you
so
think?
much, but it's
Yeah.
like
Do you think that they announce any sort of Pokemon game through the rest of like this year? Do you think they talk about that?
No.
Highly speculated Let's Go Johto or anything like that?
no.
No?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No way. They just had 2 Pokemon presentations. If anything else was coming out within this year, they would have talked about it then. Anything else that's coming out next year won't be coming out early next year because it would be like Pokemon mainline titles are only coming out in November, like around that time frame.
Yep.
They never do anything earlier. The only thing that I could see potentially coming out early next year is a spin-off, but that would be Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be Pokemon.
Which that is pretty cool, by the way. It's
Anything else.
obviously not like huge, but I mean, when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder how much it's gonna cost. I was actually thinking about that. Can you charge $60? Like they will charge $60 probably because they
Dude.
charged how much did they? I'm gonna actually look this up. I don't know how much they charged for the Mystery Dungeon remake.
I
I'm gonna
think
look
they
that up,
charged
though.
that full price. I believe it was full price. I don't know Canadian to American how much that would be for like me. Like like how much is like
It's $60 is main
Yeah,
price.
okay, so-
$59.99,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what they. So, they have like they can't charge $59.99 for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX and then a new Pokemon Snap they charge less.
I feel like that's a little different.
It's gonna be.
I feel like that's a little different. Mystery Dungeon games haven't really. Well, they've always been on DS. I feel, but like I feel like I don't put Mystery Dungeon and like Snap in the same class because like Snap is very like. I don't know how to describe it, but I just classify those games.
I know
apart.
what you mean.
Yeah.
Like you can't really replay Snap that much.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess replayability goes into it.
It gives you less playtime.
Yeah.
It gives you less overall playtime. But
I mean, it's about taking pictures of Pokemon.
I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it's full price. I think there's no way it's not full price.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of agree with you there. Sad reality. I wish it was, not full price.
Unlucky.
But
yeah.
Speaking of another big series, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2. Do you think that we hear anything about that this year?
No.
No? No.
No, not really. If we do, it's going to be in a direct. They're not going to... This isn't a type of game that they drop a random trailer for.
Yeah, so you don't think...
trailer announcing.
Yeah, so you don't think we're going to get any direct this year?
No, I think we're going to get one in September.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think it's going to have much.
I mean, do you think that they could talk about like a Breath of the Wild 2 or like an Odyssey 2 for like a early, or mid 2021 release or?
Odyssey 2 is going to be a holiday title.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know what year it's going to be, but there's no way that's not a holiday title.
Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild 2, I could see Breath of the Wild being a early year title.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously, Breath of the Wild 1 was March, but that was only because the Switch was launching in March, so they had to sync it up. I mean, Breath of the Wild 1 still sold amazing without being a holiday title, so I don't think Nintendo's super worried about that.
Of course not. People will always buy Zelda no matter what. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. No, for sure. And even with the Link's Awakening remake, that was a September game, which that's not really holiday. It's close, but it's not really holiday. Mm-hmm. It's like fall. So I really don't know. I don't think we're getting Breath of the Wild as soon as people think. Like I feel like people think Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out very soon.
Yep.
But I don't think that's the case. I think best case scenario we get another like teaser trailer.
Yeah.
This September.
I agree.
Gameplay is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it might just be another teaser trailer that shows a bit more of the story and gives us a title reveal in a year. Holiday 2021.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see what they end up doing with the title. What was the title that you kind of created that you?
Oh, Curse of the Wild.
I think that would be amazing.
That's the one.
Yeah. Because like it gave that eerie feel. Yeah.
Well, I think the reason I think that works is because Nintendo seems to be leaning into the of the wild moniker. Because in Breath of the Wild there were like different articles of clothing you could get, and one of the like obviously the like blue one, which is now Link's default in Smash and like kind of what you think of when you think of Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. Link, that's the Champion's tunic. Right. I think it was called.
Yeah, the Champion's tunic.
But the you could get a like a kind of older version of Zelda, like the green like standard Link garb in that game through like a hidden thing. I think it was either post game or it was just like kind of in this hidden little shrine area. But that was called, I believe, Tunic of the Wild. Okay. So they seem to like that of the wild kind of moniker because I think it was used a couple other times in that. So Curse of the Wild. I think Curse of the Wild, honestly, I think that's the perfect title. Obviously, because I came up with it and I want to claim that as being right. But it indicates that it is a sequel.
Yep.
It indicates the spookier tone. But it's like not gonna be like no one's gonna see that and confuse it with Breath of the Wild because it sounds completely different.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I like the way that they're going, or at least the way we think they're going with the title and just like the overall feel of this game. It's very very experimental, just like Breath of the Wild itself. It changed everything.
Yeah.
And it is looked at as probably one of the best Zelda games of all time. It's definitely in the top 3, no doubt.
For most people, yeah. Zelda's a really personal series for a lot of people. So a lot of people, like, will hold nostalgia for A Link to the Past. Not saying that it's not a good game on its own, but A Link to the Past, a lot of people are like, will always be the top Zelda. A lot of people feel that way about Link's Awakening, especially, Ocarina of Time. Even I see some people for, like, Oracle of Seasons, like those games.
Yeah.
So you can't really, like, I feel like saying Breath of the Wild in the top 3 objectively makes sense, but for a lot of people, it's just like, it's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like for like a very big chunk of people, it's in their top 3.
You're right.
But,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to see just what they do with it generally. Again, going back to that, like, are they going to do something new with the Zelda concept itself? Like, once again, possibly having a like. Not a horror game, but like we said, like an eerie, spooky, eerie kind of game for that. So I think the Breath of the Wild formula that they've masterfully created basically in that last game, and plus this, what we predict at least, I think it's very exciting times.
Yeah, I just want them to do something different. In one of the videos I'm most proud of on this channel, or not this channel, the Switch Stop channel. But it got no views.
We talked about that earlier.
We talked about this earlier in our big discussion I alluded to at the start. It was the history of 3D Zelda, something like that. It was titled pretty poorly by me. Like, no one's gonna click on that. I should have realized that. But the thing is, basically the main takeaway at the end of that was people liked Breath of the Wild not because of what it did, being the open world. Like, obviously people liked it for that, but I think the main reason Breath of the Wild got the insane response that it got was not because of what it did, but because of how it did it. The fact that Nintendo was able to take risks and do something that's so different for them. They don't do open world games that much, and especially not in the way that Breath of the Wild was done. Like, that's a first for Nintendo. They never really do that sort of thing. So I just the main takeaway for that video was, I hope that when they do Breath of the Wild 2, they don't just look at what Breath of the Wild physically was that made it great. Like, oh, look, you can climb. Like, we should bring that back. Oh, open world, we'll bring that back. But they should do, like, hey, we took risks here. We changed the formula. That's why Breath of the Wild was great, and that's what we got to implement in the sequel. So as long as they do that, I don't care how long it takes. As long as we get something that innovates the way Breath of the Wild did, it could come out in 2023. I don't care.
I think most people definitely agree with you there. I've always been the person that says, like, I don't care how long it takes for a game to come out, as long as it's done right. I don't want it to just be released, like 85% done.
Just released into the wild, into the wild. God damn it.
Yeah.
I didn't even mean to do that.
Yeah. Speaking of games being like 85% done, I don't know if you've seen this, just off on our side tangent, I guess, on this topic. Recently on Twitter, a lot of like hardcore Animal Crossing fans have said that, like, how they're introducing this diving update into the game. I don't know if you saw. Yeah, nice shirt.
Animal Crossing shirt. Had to flex because the face cam.
Of course.
For people who don't know, my shirt is Animal Crossing for Spotify and iTunes viewers. So
perfect.
That's the little bit you're
missing. A lot of people have been saying that, like, this should have been in the game before. So do you think, even though Animal Crossing has been super successful, do you think that game has been, like, released like 85% done, considering they're, like, adding in
100%.
features from, like, other games that should have been in?
That game was announced because I almost made a video about this because it's a really interesting topic. Animal Crossing was announced to capitalize off the hype of Isabelle being in Smash.
Right. Yep.
So they announced it at the same time. Clearly, that was very early into the development because they announced it to come out in 2019.
Oh.
That didn't even happen. And then it came out in March 2020, and it was still pretty half-baked. Like, there's a lot of features that just were not in that game that definitely should have been.
I feel like people are just going to kind of say, like, oh, they're just, like, adding stuff into the game just to, make it interesting. Like, I feel like some people are going to be, like, blind in that way, where people are, like, they're going to say, like, they didn't introduce, like, these features from past games because, they want to keep the content fresh, which I can be like, okay, but if I'm knowledgeable of the past games and I'm a big fan, I'm like, come on, man. Like, I feel like
I agree.
Nintendo has done this a lot on the Switch, and like it's ended up being fine, I guess, because the games have been received like really well. Animal Crossing is
What do you mean? Like what other games?
like wasn't Super Mario Party kind of like that? I feel like
Well, the
yeah.
thing with Super Mario Party is they never updated it, and
Okay,
that's
yeah.
why everyone hate or not everyone. That's why I hate that game now. It's
Yeah.
because they never they. It's like if they released Animal Crossing, but Animal Crossing had way more content than Super Mario Party.
Oh, of
It's like
course.
if they released Animal Crossing, but there was only 10 villagers, and then never updated it.
Yikes. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was pretty bad.
yeah, I've just seen people like say that. I'm not one of those people who think that like Nintendo has released games like 85% done and charged like full price and stuff like that.
I somewhat do agree with that though. There are some
Yeah.
games that
I
I
just
feel
can't
like
name any.
were
Yeah.
underbaked. Mario Tennis Aces comes to mind.
Right,
They
yeah.
added a lot of characters after that. Splatoon 2, I can't really
That's the
say
one,
that
yeah.
was half baked because they did the same thing with Splatoon 1. Like they released the game and when the game released it was complete. There just wasn't a ton there.
Yep.
But there was still enough there to warrant the $60 purchase in my opinion.
Yep.
Because Salmon Run was such a big addition. But then how much they've added to Splatoon 2? That game got pretty much a year and a half, I'd say, of constant content updates for free, not counting Octo expansion. The amount of maps that are in that game it's ridiculous. Like there are so many maps, and that doesn't even count the Splatfest ones, like the Shifty Station whatever variants that you can play in like private matches and whatnot.
Right.
There's so much content in that game now that it's more than if it had released 100%, because now it's like 130%. So I hope that they're gonna do that with Animal Crossing, and they didn't just release it like 85% done, and they're gonna update it to 100% and then stop. Which it
Yeah.
seems like they're gonna go
Yeah.
all the way. But it's just, to be fair, it is kind of annoying for these first couple of months when they're just catching up to getting it to where it should be 100%.
Yep.
Because it's like, I mean, come on, like it should have been like that months ago.
I agree. Yeah. Totally. I've just seen. I just brought that up because I just saw some people say like, seriously, like we have all these features from like New Leaf that should be in this game, and it looks like they're gonna slowly work their way up to
For sure,
the
yeah.
100%. It's disappointing to see, but like as you said, with how they introduced Isabelle and announced the game at the same time, I mean, it was a pretty great moment. But
Yeah.
just how it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, sucks, but what are you going to do?
It's only
just-
like the hardcore every like old Animal Crossing player that's played since the beginning kind of people that are complaining. Like I didn't even know diving was in past games until I saw.
It was only a New Leaf.
Yeah, so I didn't know that because I never played New Leaf at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got you. I mean, it's just like, it like business wise, I get why Nintendo did
Yep.
it. They didn't want to delay the game a second time.
definitely.
Eh.
I mean,
I mean,
clearly didn't.
it's better than like the insane crunch time. That's the thing with like when all these people complain about the features being missing on Twitter. Like, bro, these are the same type of people who will like yell at like Naughty Dog and like other companies like Rockstar that are like infamous for putting their employees under crunch time.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then when a company like Nintendo, who has publicly came out and said, like Next Level Games, who worked on Luigi's Mansion for Nintendo, said Nintendo made sure that they had enough time that they needed to complete the game. They were super adamant about making sure their employees didn't feel stressed at all. So Nintendo is super against crunch time. It's like ingrained in their culture that like crunch time is bad.
Yep.
And then when they didn't crunch their employees, they delayed the game, but they didn't crunch their employees to get all the content in. People are mad. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's a double-edged
Yeah,
sword,
yeah.
but hey, you can literally never please anyone.
Of course.
It's not possible,
course.
so.
Or please everyone is what you meant. You said anyone.
What did I
You
say?
said anyone.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I get
Yeah,
what
you
you're
can't please anyone. It's impossible. No one is happy.
saying. Yeah. I mean, it clearly
All
didn't affect
12
the
million
sales
people.
because it's been doing
Yeah,
pretty damn well.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like something nuts now.
Oh yeah.
Like
I don't know.
want
off the
to
top of my
say
head.
12 million.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah,
You keep
sure.
talking.
So another game generally that I just have been thinking about through this year has been Bayonetta 3. We haven't heard anything about that either. Do you think that we see that announced or not announced, but we get news from a direct or something? Because when they're talking about, I know they're talking about first party games, but just like generally, do you think that we can see anything from that?
Hell if I know. I don't know. Yeah,
You
I
work
have
at
no idea.
Nintendo, dude.
I don't follow Platinum Games at all.
Gotcha.
Like I think maybe I could see it actually being a holiday release this year because I'm pretty sure Hideki Kamiya, who's like not CEO but like producer at Platinum, I
Or
think
president?
he said
I
some
forget. Anyway, yeah, go on. Yeah, yeah.
he said something along the lines of oh yeah, we're working on this band. Like anyone who thinks Bayonetta is canceled, you're dumb.
Yeah, we
Like
talked about.
it's going.
Yeah, we talked about that in the
Yeah.
Cyroth episode, and it's kind of funny you say that actually because I was like, you know what, maybe it is a holiday release, and then you were like, no, they would not put Bayonetta for a holiday release, and now you say
Did
that,
I do
yeah,
that?
you did. So now,
Uh-oh.
now look who looks like the idiot. No, I'm kidding, but
It's me. I look like the idiot, especially with the face cam. No, I I don't think if it is the holiday game, it's not going to be the holiday
yeah,
game,
that's
is
that,
I think
yep.
what I was trying to say.
That's what
It's
I
not
was
gonna
trying
be
to
the
say
only
too.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think it's gonna be the only one. I think that if they're going to do Bayonetta 3 like around this I think actually a perfect example of this is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Because to be honest, I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Bayonetta 3 are going to sell around the same, which is not super like well for their respective genres and franchises,
yeah.
but not super well when compared to like the Mario, Zeldas, Animal Crossing, Pokemon's, like the big
Yep.
hitting Switch games. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out December 1st, 2017. Mario Odyssey came out October 27th, 2017. So those
Right,
games,
yeah.
like, technically they were both holiday titles. But, one carried the holiday and another one just happened to release in the holiday.
Yeah, so
I feel like
maybe
that would be the same sort of.
yeah, so maybe they, and I know it's a port, but maybe they would do like 3D World Deluxe and Bayonetta 3?
Maybe,
Maybe?
yeah. I wonder if I don't know if they're gonna want the holiday title to be not an original one, like the
Yeah,
big selling holiday
that's what
title.
I would, yeah.
So I wouldn't not be surprised if they did 3D World Deluxe in September,
No.
or maybe even okay. Pains me to say, 3D World Deluxe in January 2021 would not surprise me, because it would kind of mirror the 2019 January 2019 release of Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. It would kind of
I
mirror
hate that game.
Not saying that those games are similar at all.
Oh, yeah.
One is way better, and one is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. But it would kind of parallel in that regard.
Yep.
There is so much
I
thunder
hear
going on
that.
outside my house.
Oh my.
Bro, I told you. I texted you earlier.
Yeah.
I said I don't know if I'll. It's unfortunate. I mean, sorry, podcast listeners, unless you like thunder.
I mean,
Hopefully there's no lightning, because then the face cam, you can see it through there.
no, actually,
windows.
yeah, no, actually, you can't see the window through there, but
Okay,
Discord is weird with, or no, not Discord. Streamlabs OBS is weird with cropping, and they have to overcomplicate it. So, but yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
know
well.
you.
It is what it is. Of
course.
Yeah, no, but where was I before? I was so rudely interrupted by Mother Nature. Jeez. Hate that.
You were
person.
talking about Super Mario 3D World Deluxe being a January 2021 possible, like that.
Oh, yeah.
And how you could.
So the only reason I think that instead of this September is because as you said, I'm not sure if they do Paper Mario July, then a new Mario game September.
Yeah, that's the
I think
thing.
maybe
Yeah.
they'll do Pikmin in September, because they have no problem doing older games in September. We saw Link's Awakenings
Right.
in 2019 September. So Pikmin in September, Pikmin 3 Deluxe in September 2020. So this September. Then maybe this October, some sort of like that's where the
Luigi's
holiday game
Mansion
is.
4, dude. Imagine.
Sure, we'll take it.
Yeah, of course.
No, I think the holiday game would be then. What's the holiday game gonna be? I don't know. Maybe it's the All Stars collection, although that's once again not a new game.
But
Although if it's
I
a
don't care.
If it's
I don't
a full
care.
remaster, yeah. if it's a full remaster of Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine being packaged as a new game, that'll sell as well as a new game
my
would. So it doesn't matter.
Of course.
Um,
Dude, I just
yeah.
I just cannot imagine. It's huge. I seriously
Imagine Sunshine getting the Crash Bandicoot like ground up remaster.
I would love it. It would be so great. I seriously hope that that game happens, because Sunshine is like, your 3D world to me. So
Yeah.
hopefully. We don't really
Yeah.
we don't know a hell
It
of
would
a
be
lot. I mean, we have to wait for them.
We don't know anything. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to wait for them to do some sort of direct or something. But apparently, nothing is interrupted. It's only the announcements. So, we don't work at Nintendo.
I don't know. I wish I did, because then I'd know what they're planning on doing. Cause
Yeah, create a leak, sell it to
yeah,
one of those
get sued.
Yeah, one of those leak YouTubers that
Channels.
are amazing. Yep. I'm not naming names, but
Yeah, let's not name names.
Of course.
Sell it to one of them, dude. You don't even need to sell them a real leak. You could write something up.
Yeah.
I can make a Google Slides right now. Say official Nintendo, do not screenshot. Send it to one of them. They'd make a 16-minute video. Just saying.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my god.
That's insane,
it's
dude.
so loud. It's not even rain. Oh, it could be raining. Okay, I'm gonna go check, see if it's raining. You keep talking. I'm very concerned.
There you have it. So his power might go out, but we're just gonna keep going. So again, with those, oh my god. So with those, Mario remasters.
It's really raining.
Oh, it's really raining, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I couldn't hear it. It's pouring.
Oh wow.
It's going nuts.
I was talking about the Mario remasters. Just the whole idea of that happening. Like, I don't even care, dude, like, where it is. If it just happens, period, it's going to be huge. I mean, like, Mario 64, Sunshine, what else was a part of that pack? The Galaxy games. Oh my god.
I don't think they're a part of... If they do 64, Sunshine, Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2 all in one pack, I think Nintendo has died and is a new company, because that is so un-Nintendo. They literally sold us like every single Wii U game back at full price.
Oh yeah.
So
that's true.
I don't think I think best case scenario, they do Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine ground up remake for $60, Mario Galaxy 1, Mario Galaxy 2 HD remaster $60, Super Mario 3D World Deluxe $60.
Yeah.
Deluxe
okay.
$60. That kind of rhymed a little bit.
A little
maybe.
bit. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, if Galaxy 1 and 2 is the pack that, is the holiday game, I mean, wouldn't that be crazy? Seriously, like, oh, we just wish.
I'm praying.
We wish.
I'm praying. Dude, that would be so cool. So cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to say in terms of the remasters. I feel like we've talked about them so much. Everyone knows how cool they would be, or at least we think they would be.
Oh, the 7 videos that we've talked about, that we made.
Oh, yeah. Those were beautiful videos.
Oh, of course. I think we pretty much covered everything on that. So if you want to move on to questions, then I'm definitely down.
Sure. Yeah. So that's basically okay. Just summing up what we were kind of talking about. That's basically what we think Nintendo's 2020 will look like. Or at least the rest of it anyway. Mm-hmm. And that's judging off this new news that technically this is a normal year, but just the announcements of things have been shifted around.
Yep.
Which, if it's still a normal year and nothing's been shifted around, kind of annoys me that they skipped out on E3, because if it was just a normal year, then why didn't they just do a normal announcement
yeah,
thing?
That's what is really insane to me. I mean, you see like Pokemon have those 2 presentations, right?
Yeah.
And seeing that could have been possible, and seeing if we end up not getting a direct at all, and they're like also just trying to say like,
well, I mean, we missed out on the direct that would have been in June. So like, even if we get a September direct, we still missed out on the biggest Nintendo news dump of the year. Or what should have been.
Yeah, so that also just makes you kind of wonder, like, was Nintendo's 2020 plan from the start to not be something super spectacular, Guess we'll see when the time comes.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it if they were just planning on riding the Mario remaster wave, because I mean that is
That's
something that you could ride.
Oh, of
That is
course,
something you
yeah.
could just.
But we'd have to hear about it soon.
But yeah,
Yep.
we'll see. We shall
We
see.
shall see. So we
Anyway,
can move on to
fan
the
questions?
question segment. Yes, definitely.
Let's do it.
So first up from Floor Tile today, and this is actually pretty interesting to you because you talked about this game in a past video. So Floor
All right,
Tile
I'll
today
look 'em
asks, do you think we will get a new Kid Icarus game after Smash Bros. DLC 2? That's
This is a.
yeah.
I'm assuming he means. Do you think Sakurai will produce a new Kid Icarus game after
That
Smash Bros.
is
2? Because that would be the only correlation between Smash Bros. And
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
means. He said DLC 2, so I would assume Fighter Pass too.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
I don't think Sakurai is going to be involved in another Kid Icarus game.
Really?
I'm just gonna say that right now. I'm pretty sure there was an interview he said a while back where he said Kid Icarus Uprising was the height of where he thought he could take the series, and he didn't want to do another one. Now, granted, I think Nintendo will eventually revisit the franchise because it's good. Like it's a really really phenomenal game. At least Uprising is.
Yeah.
I still am in the camp that thinks Uprising should get an HD remaster on Switch.
Yeah.
Because the texturing in Uprising, the graphics in Uprising is phenomenal. The only thing that held it back was the resolution. So
Right.
just redo some of the textures, slap that puppy on Switch. Graphically, it'll look perfect.
Oh yeah.
Control wise, I'm throwing up in my mouth thinking about controlling Kid Icarus
my.
Uprising. It was so bad. It was the touchscreen. Okay, you had the touchscreen of the 3DS here. For visual viewers, I'll show you in case you didn't know.
So only
you
on
had
YouTube you can see this.
Yeah,
by the way.
only on YouTube.
Thomas
But
is holding
I
up the
will
3DS.
explain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain, vocally. So you have the stylus. You're touching the touchpad of the 3DS to aim, and then the circle pad is how you fly. You control where you fly. So you're independently controlling pit with the circle pad. You're aiming reticle with the touchpad. You're firing with the trigger. There it is. You're firing with the trigger, and then you have special abilities that are either bound to here or here. I forget. It was just an absolute like you're playing the game like this. It does not function. You can't play a on-rails shooter the way you tried to play Kid Icarus Uprising. Like, you could do it, but it would hurt your hands, and it was generally an uncomfortable experience, even though the game is absolutely phenomenal. Musically, visually, I think that game is one of the best games Nintendo has ever produced. Like, it felt like a Final Fantasy game at points. When
Yeah.
you're flying and, like, Medusa comes out from, like, the ground, and she's just absolutely massive. It felt like Shadow of the Colossus, that sense of scale. Or like God of War PS4 when the World Serpent comes out and Kratos is just kind of chilling on a boat with Atreus and the World Serpent comes out and it's just massive. It feels like that, which is phenomenal for a Nintendo game because they don't care about story at all, you would think. So Sakurai actually writing a funny story for Kid Icarus, but like still engaging and semi-heartfelt, like that game is phenomenal. Problem is, once again, it was on the 3DS. So I think if they remaster that game, honestly, it would be as good as a new game for me because it would feel like a new game.
Of course,
that
yeah.
getting remastered would feel new. And I don't think Sakurai is going to waste his time with a port. I mean, he could have easily ported Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS to Switch, but he made Ultimate instead. So I think that just goes to show the man's like drive and ethic is too vast for ports, too good.
Yep.
He's above that. So I think Nintendo will port Kid Icarus Uprising, and then after that sells really well, because I am confident that would sell well.
Yep. Agreed.
Maybe they'll approach Sakurai about a port or about a sequel, but then that would mean that starts development around like 2022-ish, so that might not even be on the Switch. That might be a Switch Pro game or whatever. But yeah, it's a very long answer to the Kid Icarus question, but I think personally, no. We would get a port instead. Yeah. I don't forget the exact phrasing of the question, but that's my answer.
Yeah.
I kind of just talked. Yeah, you answer that one because I just talked way too long about that.
All good. I think that we could definitely see Kid Icarus make a not a return. Yeah, I guess the series make a return on the Switch with, a port that you're talking about, controls done right. Only problem for me is that I would have drifting Joy-Cons, so I'd have to spend
Do you
over
not have a
two
Pro
hundred
controller?
dollars to play the game.
Do you not have a Pro
I do
controller?
not. I don't. I don't. No.
How do you play Smash? GameCube?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cringe. Pro controller gang. I hate the GameCube. I
Uh,
don't hate the GameCube controller.
it's a classic.
I think that I mean it is, yeah. I think the reason people like it for Smash though is mainly like that's just what they're used to.
Of
I think
course.
there's no like physical difference. Like I get that the buttons are placed differently and like, the triggers feel different, but I just I don't know, like the GameCube controller purists who are like will see you playing Smash on like a Pro controller and act like you're playing it on a single Joy-Con like sideways. It's like, it's not that deep, but
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
a Kid Icarus game, you know, I mean, you seriously never know about, if we could see that be announced this year because we know nothing. So, hey, wouldn't put it
Not
out the
wrong.
realm of
Heck,
possibility.
that would be sick. Oh my god. Imagine a 3D World Kid Icarus like direct where they showed off both those games. I would actually like those are probably my two most wanted, like not counting a new Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah,
Those
yeah.
are probably my two most wanted games. Or like ports at least, those are definitely my two most wanted. Third, followed by Metroid Prime Federation Force, which I've talked about on the podcast before.
Last episode, I
I'm gonna
think.
get crap for saying that.
I think it
I
was last episode or the episode before. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Metroid. It was last episode, I think. Metroid Prime Federation Force, a really good game, held back by the 3DS, and the time they announced it. But
Yeah.
that doesn't have to do with the actual game itself, so I'm not gonna mention it here.
Yep. There you have it. There you have it about Kid Icarus. Next question here from Ethan Mastercrafter, and he asked, "Heyo, here's a question for the next podcast. Will you ever do viewer interviews on the channel?" What about that?
What is that? Do you want to elaborate on that?
So
PJ? What's this?
yeah, like viewer interviews, like as in, like could a viewer join like a Discord channel? I would assume. So say for example, we go on the Switch Stop server and we pull like a viewer in and they ask us a question, and then we answer it. So like
Oh,
so we could maybe
okay.
integrate that into like a future live episode, which we'll
We
get
have been
into.
thinking
Yeah,
about.
we'll get into discussing that in a later episode. But yeah, I mean, is that? Do you think we do that down the line, possibly in a live episode?
Um, yeah, I think it would make most sense in a live episode. The only thing that scares me though is getting randos on live. People say crazy things because they think they're funny,
Yep.
and so I
Yeah.
mean, like, hey,
Yeah.
that's the one thing that scares me. Like,
That's why we have
I
to make
know
sure that it's like people that we know, if you know what I mean.
from Discord,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
like people like
Like,
for
I'd
example.
be fine with Ethan.
Yeah, for example, like people like Ethan or people like Gino or Mac or Kagan, just, to name a few.
Yeah.
Like people like that.
Because I mean, I know personally, I read pretty much every single comment on like Switch Stop
Yep.
videos, unless it's like a video that blows up, gets over 100K, then I physically like can't read every single one.
Yeah.
But, like I read pretty much every single comment. If you comment on a video within the first hour it comes out, I will 100% read your comment. So like I notice the same comments and the same profile pictures like pop up, and I know PJ does too. So like
Yep.
if you're someone we know, like Kagan, Macasaurus, there's so many I can't name them all,
Off the
but
spot,
like
yeah.
Callum, dude, Callum's such a homie. Me and Callum DM on Twitter. I love that guy. But yeah, no, there's like a whole bunch of like you guys that are really awesome. We know you. Like I'll talk to you on Twitter or Discord, and like one of those guys, I'd be perfectly fine bringing them on. But like if some random like alt account, like Discord account with no profile picture
Yep.
wants to join the thing, it's like
Yeah, it's a bit of a yikes.
not trying to get canceled.
Of course.
Not trying to get canceled. Because that seems to be a lot of that going around. So
Yeah, that is YouTube and Twitch and Twitter is a crazy place right now. I'll just say that.
bro, have you heard of this Doctor Disrespect stuff? This
I
absolute
have.
bonkers stuff.
I have. Yep.
Did you see? No, but did you see like why he got banned?
The reason isn't out yet because people are trying to keep it quiet. I've seen a lot of rumors that
I've seen a really reputable rumor that
I've seen a lot of
about
stuff
the
too.
streaming. Did you see the one about the streaming service
Oh yeah,
he's making?
yeah. So apparently the rumor
That's
is,
crazy.
but yeah, apparently the rumor is that it's him, Shroud, and Ninja are making a
That
streaming service under Spotify. Um, I mean,
shout out to our Spotify
of
listeners.
course, yes, of
I
course,
might as well say that.
of course.
Yeah, I mean,
It'll
it
be
would be
interesting.
under like the Spotify. It wouldn't be related to Spotify in terms of naming,
Oh
but it
yeah,
would be owned by the same parent
right,
company. I think it
right.
was.
Yes, yep, yep.
Um, and this is really refutable because like I'm not gonna explain why, but yeah. So apparently that's why I got banned. Crazy stuff, not at all related to what we're talking about. I just wanted to know if you'd heard of that,
Yeah,
PJ, because that like I don't watch streamers
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much at all,
Yep.
especially on Twitch. But like even if you don't care about live streamers, you've heard of Doctor Disrespect and him getting banned again
Huge,
on Twitch.
huge.
That was like that's a big tangible like I felt that.
Yeah,
Felt that in here.
it was. Jesus, what is my hair doing, bro?
I can't see you.
No, I know.
I can't see
I
you.
know.
So.
Quarantine.
My hair's
Yeah, quarantine. I haven't been able to get a
just kinda
haircut,
is.
bro. It's crazy stuff.
I haven't either, but I'm kind of vibing with
Yeah.
it. My parents keep trying to cut it. My dad like
Yeah.
sneaks up behind me with scissors.
Yeah,
I'm like, no,
yeah, yeah.
I'll let it vibe
Very,
for a bit.
very similar reaction with my parents though. But yeah, just to
Yeah.
close off that little side tangent, I guess. I've heard a lot of other controversial rumors about why he got banned, which I'm not gonna obviously talk about here. But that entire situation is a
Yeah.
little shady and all that. So I mean,
It is
I guess
for sure.
we'll see what's announced. If we ever figure out why he was banned. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
past the question of viewer interviews. That somehow we got that. So no big deal. So moving on here. This is a bit of a longer question, but hopefully we can kind of answer it.
I'll follow along. Yeah.
So, question
Here
here
you go.
from Snorka19 who asks, I have a question for next episode, and they also said, more uploads awesome. We agree. Nintendo has been doing
Yeah.
a lot in the Mario franchise, but nothing recent has featured the villains as playable characters. What kind of game would be cool if it featured Bowser, Wario, or perhaps the various enemies in the games? That is a very unique concept.
I've always been infatuated with playing as villains in video games.
Yep.
I think it's really, really cool. It's a really cool gimmick. You can use it in like story-based games. I'm not gonna give a spoiler, but there's one game that just came out where you play as the villain. Pretty controversial.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say because I don't want to spoil it if anyone's planning on playing it. But
Yep.
then in terms of like Mario games, it wouldn't really have a story impact. It would just be a cool factor.
Yep.
I don't like Odyssey. You did capture Bowser, and you captured like Goombas was a big part of that game, capturing bullet bills. I don't know if that counts.
In
as, like,
Odyssey,
actually
you're
playing as them,
referring to,
though.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought I said that. Paper Mario could like you wouldn't play as them, but you could use them in your party maybe. Like use that folded origami Bowser.
Isn't Bowser Jr. a like
like a partner?
Yeah, I've seen something about that. I didn't exactly understand the trailer, but it like they had some dialogue because they're not using Bowser or Bowser Jr. as like the focal point of like villains in this game, and it looks like
Yeah, it's a new guy.
it almost looks like Bowser and Bowser Jr. are like a anti-hero almost.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what this person's talking
Yeah,
about.
no,
I
I
think
know,
they're talking about. I think they're talking about a new game, like a new style.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say because there's really like there's already a bunch of like Mario Kart, Mario Party, like all those games, the spin-offs you can already play as Bowser and Mario. I think if they were to do it, I think maybe something like maybe imagine the next 2D Mario, right? Because that's instantly where my mind goes. Imagine the next 2D Mario, instead of just being another Bowser Kidnaps Peach, they actually give it somewhat of a story. So maybe it's like Bowser and Mario have to team up in order to beat the new villain that came in and took over the Mushroom Kingdom and kicked Bowser and Peach out of their castles. So Mario and Bowser team up. And then maybe this could either be a pretty good multiplayer gimmick, as one person plays as Mario, one person plays as Bowser.
Yeah.
kind of an asynchronous gameplay style where Mario can do things Bowser can't, but Bowser can do things Mario can't.
Right, yeah.
Maybe Bowser breaks blocks that Mario can then run underneath because he's smaller. Or you could even, yeah, just something like that. I think would be probably the most interesting. I mean, that's where my mind goes to.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
yeah, that's a great idea. The thing about having the once known as like villain character as like, like the main character you play as, I guess, is it's just Mario himself is just such a big brand, and for
Yeah,
Nintendo to
for
kind
sure.
of release a Mario universe game that doesn't have Mario playable, I don't think it would do terrible, but I think it would be very strange. It wouldn't do as well as, a game you could obviously play as Mario in. But that concept that
Of
you,
course.
um, kind of just said, I mean, it's a, I think it's the only possible way of that circumstance going down. Um, but
Yeah,
it's
for
cool. It's
sure.
cool to talk about, of course.
Yeah, I mean the only other thing that I could think of is a very small, like there are games like Captain Toad and Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is more so it's like big own thing now, but even then it doesn't sell as well as like Mario Kart, Mario Party. But like Captain Toad is a very small, like there's only one game in the series, um, but it's got like it's a very small. It was only $40. I could see maybe like a Goomba eShop game. Like if
Yeah.
Nintendo ever wants to do eShop things, or maybe like they give an indie studio like imagine if the guys from like Super Meat Boy, like Team Meat, made like a Goomba game or something
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You could play as like Goombas or Koopa Troopas or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting idea though of the villain playable
Concept. Yeah.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, oops. Hit my mic. So last,
Uh oh.
yeah, uh-oh. Last question here from Boss Killer asking, what can Nintendo add to the next gen console to make it better and newer than the Switch? So very broad, but I'll kind of answer that. I don't
For
think I
sure.
don't think that Nintendo is gonna just drop the Switch name after this generation, I guess. That because they don't really like, follow Xbox and PlayStation and like compete with them. Um,
I'm just messing around.
yeah,
Don't mind
yeah,
me.
no, I know. They don't really like compete with them, right? They're always like on their lonesome, but still do very well. But Xbox and PlayStation always compete with each other. But whenever Nintendo's next console is, um, I just feel like it's gonna be called the Switch Pro, and I don't think they're gonna be dropping the Switch name. Um, I think they're gonna adopt some sort of Joy-Cons Pro concept where drifting is a thing of the past and other features that, you know, oh yeah, that would be great for me. Um, Other features that I don't or I can't name because I do not work as an engineer at Nintendo. 4K well docked gameplay, and Switch Pro exclusive games with it obviously having full playability from like all Switch library. So I think that's the next direction that Nintendo's going to go with their home consoles at least. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the Switch name probably is going to get dropped near the end of the 2020s, I think. But again, I don't work at Nintendo, so the hell do I know? But that's my guess.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. I honestly can't imagine a future where Nintendo goes back to having a dedicated home console and a dedicated
Oh yeah,
handheld
yeah, it'll
running
never be the same.
running separately.
Yep.
The Switch is so unique in that aspect, and that's why I got so excited about the Nintendo Switch and like so excited enough to make this channel.
Yeah,
Is because it's so everything about it works so well from a marketing standpoint. You can see exactly what it does. It switches. It's in the name. You can see the appeal of it. Like I remember showing my mom the first trailer to that like that
yeah,
one song that they had playing where it kept going switching. It was like ha 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 yeah, and they would show like Mario Kart. And back then we didn't know if it was like a straight port, like what they would do Mario, and they were so like I just getting so much nostalgia right now from like I remember seeing that Mario Odyssey, him triple jumping in the Sand Kingdom, running into Toast Arena Town, and everyone was freaking out. I remember waking up early watching that trailer, showing it to my mom and being like, look at this, like, this is the new Wii, I basically said. Because even though we owned one, I don't think she knew what a Wii U was. So I was like, this is
Does
the new Wii
anyone
from,
know
like,
what a
Nintendo.
Wii U is, dude? Like, let's be...
Yeah, I don't know, man. So yeah, I was just like, hey, Mom, this is the new Wii. And she was like, whoa. Like, because it just, like, she doesn't care about video games at all. She doesn't play anything besides Candy Crush and Wordscapes on her phone. But it's so visual. Like, it makes sense. And so I think Nintendo would be foolish to drop that. So I do agree with you in terms of them. They're going to keep the Switch name for as long as possible. I'm hesitant to say they're going to go 4K just because it doesn't really seem like something Nintendo would do. At least not yet. Because like 4K, like most people don't even have 4K TVs. So it just like it seems like Nintendo like focusing a ton on that would be kind of weird considering they're always, you know, trying to be inclusive and not everyone can even view that. I feel like they would definitely just make it so literally any game released on it is 1080p 60 FPS locked. Yeah, besides that, I don't really know what new features they would add.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Joy-Cons Pro that Jesus, my hair, man. Jesus.
It's all good.
I think the Joy-Cons, they'll probably brand it as Joy-Cons Pro and, you know, make it more expensive, you know.
Yeah. Oh, they could do that swappable button plate thing.
Yes,
I did in
yes.
that concept a
That
while
too,
back.
yeah. Yeah, that would be insane, dude. That's actually a really good point. So if you guys don't know what he's talking about, Thomas made a Switch Pro concept, and the Joy-Cons. Did you call them a Joy-Con Pro or?
I don't remember.
But yeah.
I remember actually I had a pretty tough time figuring out what to call them because Joy-Con Plus doesn't work because then you would think it's like Joy-Con Plus and Joy-Con Minus. For like the different sides because there's literally a plus button on the Joy-Con, so that doesn't work. You can't do Joy-Con, like new Joy-Con is like they're not doing that.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. Joy-Con Pro is weird because you would think it's like a Pro controller, like Joy-Con Pro, and then there's the Pro controller.
Okay,
it's just
very
very like messy. There's really not a particularly good way to. I think I probably ended up saying Joy-Con Pro. I don't know if that would be what they named them though.
Yep. Yeah, so back to the swappable buttons point. So if you don't know what he's talking about, yeah, Thomas made a concept, and the kind of Joy-Con Pro, I guess we'll just call them for now, you had the ability to swap the buttons. So, you know, you had like GameCube or, you know, like D-pad or something, right? Just like a bunch of different possibilities there, and would also eliminate the SNES and NES controller Joy-Con that they're releasing, and instead you can just have the swappable buttons, for example. So that's cool, and you know, is a little less expensive for people who want to do that. So
For sure.
yeah, so it's pretty cool concept. You know, I think they should pay Thomas and do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. I mean, would be cool. Time will tell, though. Never know. I think
We shall see.
I don't think we're gonna be dropping the Switch name anytime soon, though.
Agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the last question.
All right. I mean, yeah. I think we just ended around an hour, so that actually honestly works out.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say once again, reiterate this for those of you guys who are still sticking to the podcast, you know, listening through. If you make it this far, man, I like props to you guys. I listen to podcasts. Very rarely am I able to get through an hour-long podcast. I have to put it on 2x speed. I can generally get through an hour-long podcast on 2x speed. If you listen to this, I actually saw a couple of comments of people saying they listen to this while they go to bed, which, I mean, sure, to each their own. Kind of weird for me to think about that my voice would be helping someone go to sleep. Makes me almost want to just yell randomly in the middle of a podcast episode.
Yell randomly?
I wouldn't.
Yo, wake up!
Yeah. Like, find whoever commented that, yell their username as loud as possible. Like, get up! Like, but I'm not going to do that now. But
dude, can you...
That would be mad funny.
That would be so creepy to think about that. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, because they'd be like, why do they know my username? I shouldn't have even mentioned this. Now my plan is out in the open.
Plan is
anyway,
foiled.
Yeah. I want to say, like, to anyone who listens this far, thank you guys. Seriously, it does mean a lot. PJ and I, we did have that super long talk about where to take Switched Up in the future. I won't go super into that now, but basically, generally, the podcast channel is going to be a lot more active. We're going to be doing clips on that, or PJ's going to be doing a lot of clips on that. I'll do some here and there. So yeah, check that out. If you're a fan of the podcast, literally what we're trying to have essentially is we're trying to have Switched Up and then Nintendo Tonight both be like self-sufficient. Right now, Nintendo, if we stopped Switched Up, Nintendo Tonight would pretty much cease to exist.
Yeah.
Because it's like everyone who knows Nintendo Tonight knows it from Switched Up.
Almost
we're trying
everyone.
to kind of build.
Yep.
I would say everyone.
I've seen some people who have said like, you know, like I saw this and I've now subscribed to both channels. So, you know, great work, keep it up.
Damn,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Well, yeah, I would say almost everyone. We want to try and build up Nintendo Tonight so they're both on the same level of like
Popularity
viewership.
and viewership. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, we're going to be doing that by adding new clips, uploading podcasts more frequently. On top of that, Switched Up is going to be taking more of a more quality over quantity role. I think PJ and I are both so incredibly proud of the videos we put out this year.
Yeah.
I feel like if you go back to January 1st until now, pretty much every video uploaded on the channel, we put our all into. Like even the videos that aren't like, you know, because even when we like even the videos that we would consider to be average videos have like really good parts that we're really, really proud of. And so we're going to be trying to take even more of a quality over quantity approach
Yep.
on the base Switched Up. So uploads might be slowing down there, I guess, maybe to 2 a week, which I think is fair. Like 2 videos a week, and then maybe 2 podcasts a week, huh? I don't know. Maybe a podcast a week, 2 podcasts a week. Who knows? Yeah, we don't have a set schedule, but just keep that in mind. And then, honestly, the Nintendo Tonight channel will probably be uploading clips on there. I don't want to say daily, but pretty frequently. So
yeah, I mean, we
definitely,
we haven't figured out a schedule yet, but I remember, dude, I tweeted out on the Twitter, obviously, like episode 3.
Yeah.
We're now going to be uploading like podcast clips, and it's episode 8 now, and
yeah. We're cool. Don't worry about it, guys. We're cool.
or episode 7, I don't even know. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, we're pretty
Wonderful.
cool. We're doing great. We're doing just swell. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling because we just talked for way too long about stuff that I'm pretty sure most people probably don't care about. But anyway, seriously, guys, thank you guys all so much. It really does mean the world. We do have really big plans for both of the channels going forward.
Yep. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Not gonna spoil anything, but definitely stay tuned. If you like the content we've been putting out, it's gonna be a wild ride. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I'm Thomas. I've been joined by PJ, my
colleague.
I was gonna say blank co-host, but I didn't know what to say. Blank, like amazing and spectacular. I can't think of an adjective.
Oh yeah,
or the proper adjective.
Yeah, before you end it off, by the way, I forgot. Jeez. Be sure to follow us on our Twitters, PJ_SwitchStop.
Do it now. Do it
at
right
SwitchStop and at Nintendo Tonight.
That's me.
And be sure, guys, as soon as you see these episodes, be sure to tweet at us and comment on the YouTube videos. Questions that you want to hear us answer.
Sure, yeah.
Because we before had a bit of a week or so for people to ask questions, but we're doing podcasts more frequently now, as we've talked about, I think like 7 times since episode 4. So
yeah.
So be sure to ask us questions and give us more content to end off the podcast, I guess. So yep.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the fan questions kind of like we kind of go on rants on every single one,
All
and they
good.
end up being like 20 30 minutes. So yeah, if you guys want us to like legitimately want to hear our thoughts on anything, we answer pretty much every
question that makes sense.
We get. Yeah, every question that makes sense. A lot of your guys' grammar is a bit subpar, but we'll let that slide. Anyway, I'm gonna end this before everyone just hates me. Thank you guys all so much for watching. This has been the 7th ever episode of Nintendo Tonight. See you guys.